Good morning everyone, welcome back to the Hearthstone ladder. That is what we're playing today. My name is Rooster and this is Yogg Druid with an exceptional amount of Taunt. So this deck was inspired and blatantly copied by a participant of DreamHack of last weekend. So I can't take full credit for it, but I do like what the deck is trying to do, and that is have more taunts than your opponent can reasonably answer. So let's give it a shot on the ladder, shall we? Because I'm curious to see how this will be on the current environment. So our first challenger here is a shaman, and that means we're definitely wary of stuff like Tunnel Trug, so as usual, mulligan for early game or ramp. Living Roots is acceptable. Not especially great against Shaman, but we'll see how it does. I don't really feel like making two 1/1s, but I guess it can deal with the Tunnel Shrug with a hero power next turn, so I guess that might be okay. Let's go for that. We've got an Innervate into Druid of the Claw on turn 3, which is pretty cool. And of course, let's see how our opponent responds. Being not at all, which is a little strange. I would have expected somewhat aggressive shaman to have played something by now. So either we're fighting a really conservative opponent here, or he might just be playing a slower deck, which may not be unreasonable, but this looks pretty nice so far. Could have considered charging that out, but that's a little dangerous if our opponent's playing, well, if he's playing a slower deck and he coins out a Lightning Storm, then that's actually fine with me. But this sets up a nice trade, and if he coins a Hex, then that's also perfectly okay, so I don't mind. I don't have a great play for the coming few turns, though, so that's a little worrying. As you may notice, this deck runs no minions below 4 mana, mostly to make the Master Jousters work, but that does mean that you have to be a little careful or a little lucky in the early game, I guess. So our opponent does not seem to have a great way to answer the Druid of the Claw here, so that's perfectly okay with me. Let's see what he has. I'm actually a little curious. I'm expecting a Lightning Bolt or... ooh, okay. A more aggressive Shaman than we originally anticipated, so that's actually pretty good for us. Let's discover a minion, because I really need to play something next turn, and just hero powering down the Flame Tongue is acceptable right now. Yeah, I really need something to do on next turn, and I don't think a spell is what we need right now. I guess that's something to do next turn. I don't really like it, but it's better than the other options, so I guess we'll have to do with it. Hoping one of my 1/1 survives here, and then we'll see if we can make it work. At least one of the 1/1s can trade into the 2/1, so as long as he doesn't have a Flame Wreath Faceless here... well, if it's a Flame Wreath Faceless, then I guess I can mulch it, and that'll be okay. Not terribly exciting, but okay. And I'll sell for okay at this point, sure. Opponent's playing rather slow, so that does give me a great opportunity to talk a lot about our possible plays, but would I still play a Doomsayer next turn? That is a real question. Looks like a pretty aggressive Shaman deck after all. So I may have been wrong about... okay, a life tap. This could still go awry, definitely. But we do have a lot of taunts coming up, and this is basically just gain 7 life, which is okay, and I'm not mulching any of this, so sure.
I was right all along.
He was right all along. Our opponent is going to be a little nervous about this, I think. So he's got 7 damage on the table, but that means he's not doing anything else productive. So that's perfectly fine with me. And starting next turn, we can start dropping some big dudes, which is also pretty great. Another taunt is a little awkward, but at least that gives me something to do with the 1/1s. With the 1/1, I guess. Well, he does need to attack the Doomsayer with everyone if he wants to get rid of it, so sure. Not the ideal card, mind you, but I'll take whatever I can get. Yeah, that's okay. We can at least kill the taunt totem here and then start dropping some taunts ourselves.
The Ancient One calls.
Sure. Not expecting a mid-range build, so Bloodlust is basically a no-go. Is my sound really soft, or am I imagining things? It could do with a little more volume, I guess. I'm sorry if this is a little much. Perhaps it is actually a little much. Let's watch it a little carefully. Okay, Rockbiter weapon. That does trade sort of for the Dark Arakoa, but that's okay. I can certainly live with that. We could go for Fandral plus Mulch, although that does not let us hero power. I kind of want a hero power next turn, but that leaves us with a really weak turn. And I guess Faceless is not terrible right now. If we mulch the Faceless, we can only drop Fandral, and we can't even kill one of the Feral Spirits. So I think we just have to risk this one. See how it goes. The Living Roots haven't been doing a whole lot the past few turns, but sure. There's more where that came from, friend. Let's see what you got. Second Rockbiter's down. Alright, alright. I don't want to mulch that anymore, though. That's actually really awkward. Do I mulch that in that case? I don't know anymore. What is right, what is wrong? That is a really big Faceless. I might still lose this. I would really hate that. So we can drop more taunts for starters. For starters, we can start dropping more taunts. We can mulch this. We are basically dead to the... We are really dead to the board. Okay. So we need to drop a taunt, or we need to deal with the Faceless right now. Taunt just dies to the Faceless, but he doesn't have a whole lot of pressure aside from that, so I guess that's okay. If I mulch that one, and then drop a taunt, and the Living Roots are not doing anything again, but we might survive the next turn, and then we might be in a position to recover, I don't know. Our opponent tapping is probably good news, or... well, maybe not. That's still painful. Wait, am I dead? No, no. There are more efficient ways to... Ooh. Big boards. My only weakness. My only weakness, big boards. Oh, I was going to say we're out of taunts right now, but that is a lie. We are hurting for basically everything. So this might not even be enough. Let me think. Do we attack into one of these? We might as well, right? So how much is left over after we do that? This trades, and he hits us for 6. That's exactly lethal. Wow.
I concede.
Well, that was a little less than optimal. I did not expect to lose that one. I should have just mulched that right away, because it was actually terrible in the case where he hit into it, because I had no way to deal 2 damage to one of his minions. So yeah, perhaps that was a mistake. Perhaps I should have mulched it right away. Perhaps I should have mulched it afterwards, because it was still 7 damage facing us. Although we did mulch a 5/5 in that case, which we also did not have a way to get rid of. That was a pretty good recovery from him. Although we did draw a lot of expensive cards early and basically skipped turn 4, so... And turn 5? Yeah. Alright, that was a pretty weak start from us, so I don't feel too horrible about losing that one. That is not what we're looking for. Do we want to keep the living roots against the rogue? I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah, sure. Maybe I should be throwing it away in favor of ramp spells, but we got a ramp spell regardless, so that's okay. So not coining that out, because I don't have a great thing to do on turn 3. Let's see. Sap is a pretty good card in this matchup, but the rogue will eventually run out, and I'm pretty sure the rogue will run out of saps before we run out of taunt minions. So as long as we can start dropping them starting turn 5, then, or perhaps even starting turn 3, because next turn will be turn 3 and we can coin one out, then that should be really good. We'll cost her 2 cards on average every big taunt, so I don't hate it. And I don't hate coining a Druid of the Claw next turn, unless something happens, of course. Barring extraordinary circumstances. That is how that is said. So, yeah. I am feeling pretty good about this deck altogether. I kind of like the Master Jouster combined with only 4+ cost minions. You might still lose some, but it's going to be pretty reasonable most of the time. I don't know whether it's needed, but there's... I don't know. Is this just the EU servers, or are we just not facing any opposition right now? That would be most unfortunate, and I will skip here if that turned out to be the case. Let's see.
Where shall I strike?
We should be pretty quick in that case. Okay, well, that wasn't necessary, it seems. That is unfortunate, because... Ooh, what is happening? High encoding... I should check my hard drive real quick. Probably that might be a problem. Let me quickly check. Because I don't want this recording to suddenly disappear. I don't like how the sound sounds right now. Should probably remove a little something. But... There's still plenty of room left, so I don't know what's going on here. Maybe check my memory. Is there anything else going on? Usually it only does this in pretty extraordinary circumstances. I've said those words before today. But yeah, against a Warlock, I like both of these cards, sure. I like both of those cards in most circumstances, actually. And Mire Keeper is not a bad follow-up at all. Are we going for the living roots right here? I think we do. Mostly to preemptively deal 2 damage. If we have 2 1/1s on the board, we can deal 2 damage in a turn where we're not using any mana. At least that's the idea, but Yeah, it might turn out to be a little harder sometimes. That's basically a Living Roots lost. I'm not giving up my Wild Growth here. So that's good for him. He's got the Void Walker, he's even got 2 Void Walkers, so that's yeah, that's pretty good for him, but the Mire Keeper will chew through these Void Walkers still, so that's okay, and we can ramp up to a Dark Arakoa the turn after. Or just right now. How about that? Would that be a better idea? No, then we have... Actually, we may just want to get the extra minion here. And then invite out a Bug Creeper. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Sure, let's do it this way. Because 2 minions on the field means I can deal with both Void Walkers right now, and that would be pretty good, unless he has a Direwolf. In which case, I'm still dealing with 2 minions, although I'm not keeping my minions around, so of course it is a little unfortunate, but that is not optimal positioning. Alright, let's stick to the plan and go for the Bug Creeper. This will at least cost him a Power Overwhelming, or a Soulfire perhaps. And if he positioned correctly, he would need 3 damage, so I don't think that matters too much. Still on the wrong side, sir. What are you desperately trying to... Okay, corruption is a little unfortunate, I will admit. But it slows him down a lot, and that does mean I don't have to... I kinda want a hero power here, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I can hero power and swipe, but that leaves me with nothing. I don't like having nothing. Although the taunt is so much more effective on an empty board. Where you can't just trade 6 damage worth in. Yeah, I don't like that. The attack basically meant nothing. It meant nothing to me. Let's go for this. I don't know what's correct here. But I don't feel placing a Dark Arakoa on a board with 6 damage is going to be a winning play. Because that's the last of my big minions in my hand too. That was a pretty good corruption, I will admit, but he is unlikely to be able to deal with this, and I will be able to deal with that next turn, so that's nice. And I even get a follow-up. How quaint. Do I want a spell? I think I want a minion here still. I have an answer to Sea Giant, so that's good. And I'll take a Dark Scale Healer, even though a Map Bomber might also be good. I think I want something big. And there's a decent chance that the Dark Arakoa gets hurt. No, actually not really, no. Because if that thing attacks in, then it's not going to... Ooh, is he going to...
I have big plans.
He is going to flood, okay. Does he have an additional... Ooh, that's bad news for you, friend. Bad news for you. I guess it doesn't matter too much, but... This does still feel pretty good. This has to feel pretty good, right? Sure. Do I just not give him any additional minions? I can just hit his face here, right? He'll have plus damage attack effects. He's unlikely to be able to kill the Dark Scale Healer here, and then we'll be reasonably okay. I could have mulched that, actually. Instead of hero powering, I could have mulched that. Would that be good? It would still leave us... It wouldn't prevent the Dark Arakoa from dying, so... In that aspect, it doesn't really matter. Oh, haven't seen that card in a while. At least we have this Dark Scale Healer here, which should be pretty good in that situation. We've also got a mulch, but I don't like it right here. So let's go with this. We've got a bunch of taunts over here, so that should be reasonable. Maybe I could have killed this, because a Power Overwhelming still kills this, so... Yeah, I should have killed the 3-2. because there's not a whole lot of 3 damage effects, so he would still have to power overwhelming the 4/4 to kill this. Which is basically his only way of dealing with this right now. Oh, another... Oh, that's a Soulfire, okay. Same deal. Does it matter? Oh wow. Okay. Sure. What did he discard? Was it that terrible? Excuse me for the sound, by the way. I'm not sure what's going on here. Actually, let me quickly restart Hearthstone and I'll just cut that out, I promise. So let's go again. And let's hope that we're a little quicker. No, it does seem like we're a little quicker than before, actually. Actually, quite a bit quicker than before. And a warrior, okay. Warrior should have a pretty decent way of dealing with all these taunts here, but that of course does depend on the kind of warrior we're facing here. I don't think I want to keep a Dark Arakoa here. Do I want to keep a Swipe? I don't think so, no. I want something that I can actually make use of right now. Master Jouster not entering play until turn 5, unfortunately, but the Raven Idol... Do I want to find a minion with this? I think I do. I can cast it on turn 1 and then try and find a 3, 4 or 5 mana. Well, a 4 or 5 mana minion, preferably. Could go for a spell and hope to catch an Innervate, but I think that's a little optimistic. So let's find a minion here. And let's grab whatever we can actually Innervate out. So I think we'll go for a Wild Walker here, even though that might be a little awkward. Sure. I don't think that's unreasonable. We can play that on turn 3, and it'll actually be pretty decent, I think. Still dies to a Bloodacre plus a Fiery War Axe, but not much else unless the warrior plays some minions right now. Did we say greetings yet? Let's greet our opponent again. Just to make sure they're actually there. Alright. We've got the Wild Growth, we've got something to play. Now only we need something to play on turn 4. So something that costs 5 or... well, that is something that costs 5 or less, so sure, but... not exactly what I was hoping for. This is still reasonable though, and even a control warrior will have to somehow deal with this right now. So we are facing a control warrior, but that is not the strongest play ever, and if we don't have a lot to do right now... how do I feel about Druid of the Claw here? I would actually consider charging it here. I don't know about that. How do I feel about charging? Actually, if he wants to execute this, then I'm entirely okay with it. You know, if he wants to slam this and then axe and then trade his minion in, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with this. I don't want to trade. I want to get rid of his armor so he can't easily shield slam it. That's good. Yeah. I feel pretty good about this Druid of the Claw here. That's a pretty good top deck though. I like it. We've got some minions coming up here. That's also pretty good. So, how do I feel about overcommitting into Brawl? Suppose he does absolutely nothing here. That would be really strange. I don't buy that he's got absolutely nothing right now. So he's executing that? If he's executing that, that's excellent for us. Because there's plenty where that came from. Do we want to go with the Jouster here? It's actually not that great right now, but it actually does eat the minion. It's not bad as a 5/6. It's actually pretty good as a 5/6, and it might be... maybe we want to keep the better 6-drop for later, is what I'm trying to say. Sure. Let's see how it does. If the Divine Shield can eat the 2/3, then that's pretty reasonable, I think.
Born to be wild.
So sure, I think that's decent value for a 5/6 Divine Shield here. Just eating a 2/3 is acceptable. If he ghouls here, it's not a ghoul, it's a ghoul. Don't be ridiculous. If he ghouls here, then that's still perfectly fine, because that means he probably still can't kill the 4/2. And if we had played an Arakoa and he plays a ghoul, then we're basically back to square one. So that's fine. He bashes that, okay. So we don't eat the minion for free, I suppose, but that doesn't seem particularly great. What does he have? He shield slams and trades the minion in. That seems like excellent value to me. No complaints there. Anything we want to do here besides play an Arakoa? Not really, I think. I don't see a particular reason to do something other than play a huge minion. It's not a good brawl even, and we're dealing 9 damage a turn, so that's pretty reasonable. And I like a hero power in the Living Roots right now. Let's let him deal with what we have right here. I also don't mind drawing a card instead of hero powering though. I think I will draw a card. Because this is as good an opportunity as any. Oh, that would have been great. That would have been pretty great. But we don't actually want to play that right now, I think. Let's just go with this. I see no reason to overcommit, and I see no reason to defend roll here, because that just makes the brawl better. We have a pretty decent clock here, so he has to deal with this somehow, and he's not shown a great ability to do so. My window's open, unfortunately, so you may have some background noise. An ambulance, I think. Yeah, let's go with something big here. What do we want to play? Are we going for this one? He's not going to be able to... We could actually uproot, but that's that's a little too cute, I think. We could go with Fandral. I like Fandral. I actually like Fandral here. It doesn't pose lethal, unfortunately, so maybe we should have gone for Agent of War. I don't know. Doesn't matter when this happens, so that's okay, but... Huh. I'm actually curious. Do we just want to keep attacking face here? Playing a 10-10 doesn't seem like the worst idea, but I am a little worried about a possible brawl incoming. I am also a little scared about the armor count this guy is amassing right now. So I don't like that. We could just go face and play a 10-10 and then get brawled, and then we'll probably still be okay. I think I'll go for that, sure. Does he have a great way to deal with that? He can shield slam it again, that's fine with me. Sure. Oh, he actually can't shield slam it. Not if we go face, of course, but I was thinking... I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was thinking we were trading, and then... I don't know. I really don't know. Calculations sometimes don't add up. That's all I can say about that. Mirekeeper, not actually that impressive with Fandral right now. So let's see that brawl of yours. You know you want to. Yeah, we both knew that was going to happen. So he's taking a 1 in 4 here. Not the best target, I will admit, but I'll take whatever I can get. That's actually pretty expensive. I don't like where that went, and I don't like the interface in my hand right now. Do I want to flood right away out of the gates? We can eliminate his armor again, so I guess this is fine. And do we Mirekeeper? I don't know about that. I don't know about that, actually. We have 8 on the field. Yeah, 8's not enough. Oh, do we actually wanna... Sure, let's innervate, I guess? I don't like flooding this much, but... Is the 1 armor relevant? I don't think the 1 armor is relevant. We've got 8, we've got... There's the second brawl. That's unfortunate. Now that is unfortunate. That is not the worst result, but I am pretty miffed about this. So, I probably should have slow rolled the Maya Keeper, let's be honest here. But that is... I'll call that bad luck. I'll call this good luck. That is a pretty good card to top deck. So, oh wait, could we have actually killed him there? Did I miss lethal? No, I didn't miss lethal. Okay, that's excellent. Let's see what he has. I'm curious. Cthulhu, perhaps? Cthulhu is not good right now. Whirlwind into execute. Alright, well, at least he's not making the most efficient use of his cards, but that is not good. Oh, bash his face, okay. So he's scared of the Feral Rage. I know he is. Or the swipe, I guess. But let's not talk about the swipe. Hey, hello. Okay, yeah, it's time. It's time. What better time than now? What better time than now? I say.
My thanks.
So what do you got? What do you got? Oh, that's risky. Okay, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, sure.
Well played.
I guess that was a mistake. I guess that was a mistake. I could have killed him if I played the other thing, right? Yeah. So how about this Bug Creeper right now? What is it? What does it accomplish? I think we lost. I think that actually just lost us the game. Ah, that's bad. That feels bad, man. And we don't have a mulch when we need it. So, yeah, I was just way too excited about that Uproot play. I was just way too excited about that. We need a mulch right now, or we just lose. Well, that could be a mulch. If we get... Oh, there's a mulch, okay. We're still in here. We're still alive and kicking. Let's do this. And let's see what he got. Still not looking good for us, mind you, but at least he's... Oh, well, potato, I guess. You trade one faceless thingamajig for another. At least this one doesn't grow. That's something, right? So we can kill the other one. That's fine-ish. I don't know. Do I care about this? I can kill this afterwards if needed. Doesn't make me too happy. I can swipe it too. That would make a whole lot of sense, actually. I want to kill the other thing. Mostly to avoid dying next turn, actually. Every little bit of armor matters. So let's do it this way, sure. If we get a swipe, then we can still kill that. I'm not sure how we're going to win this, but most of it will involve top decking huge things, I think. One thing this deck is lacking is card draw. This deck really needs some Nourish or some Azure Drakes or whatever. Oh, now would be a good time for a Joust. How about that? That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
Well played.
So
I concede.
imagine we played the Rooted Agents. That would be 14 missiles on a 10 health target. He would likely not have killed that, and then we could have Then we could have Feral Rage plus Hero Powered for a total of 10 damage. I think that would have been lethal that turn. So yeah, that was a really greedy uproot. We didn't even need it. I was just playing around the possibility of a shield block, I guess. But chance of Cthulhu was a lot.
Must be
Well, it wasn't bigger than a shield block, but it was more dangerous than a shield block. So I think I'll keep a Mire Keeper here. And that's going to be it. That's all I'm going to keep here. Maybe I should have just thrown away that Mire Keeper too, but getting the Wild Growth here does make me feel a little more confident. So that's good. And I will admit, in the last game, I did top deck quite the number of taunts in a row. So I'm not one. I'm not the one that should be complaining here. It's what I'm trying to say. I don't have anything to do next. Well, I don't have anything to do next turn with 3 mana, so I might as well just summon the saplings here and then Wild Growth next turn, and then we've got a curve going, I think. We can even do a 5 in between, that's not horrible. Or, yeah, well, if he hero powers 2 turns in a row, then that's absolutely fine with me. That is a little slow. I'm not the biggest fan of drawing the second Wild Growth early, but we might just hard ramp. I don't know about that. Something big's coming, so... Oh. Mana crystals. Okay, hey. Nourish for mana crystals. Well, we can do that. We have just Wild Growth. He just Wild Growth twice, so that means we could now Mire Keeper, or we could Mire Keeper just for beasties. We can still coin a Dark Arakoa next turn. I think I like getting the extra beastie first. I don't have to be at parity with him, right? He does have 6 mana next turn. What does he do with 6 mana? He plays a Dark Arakoa, then I still want the slime. Because the slime plus my Dark Arakoa trades for his Dark Arakoa, right? So that makes sense. I think that makes sense. He could also be a Spell Druid deck, in which case... that is looking more likely right now. Not that Cthulhu Druid doesn't run Azure Drakes normally, but... yeah, I'm still okay with this. What could go wrong? Well, he could have swipe, that would be pretty painful. A swipe into a Wrath. Yeah, swipe and Wrath would hurt, I guess. That would be pretty good right now. Raven Idol into swipe into Wrath, that's the works. He has the mana to do that. I'm just calling it ahead of time, so I don't have to be surprised when it comes out. But if he doesn't, then we are in a pretty good spot. Although we don't have a lot to do next turn, I guess we could have Feral Rage that and Wild Growth. I should have considered the possibility. Then I still had a 2-2 on the field, and then I could Bog Creeper next turn. That wouldn't be horrible. Although the Wild Growth is our... oh, huh? Why is that swipe going face? In a situation where he doesn't have a Wrath. Okay, I'm okay with this situation, although I don't have a lot to do right now, but that is a good top deck, so sure, no complaining here. Not expecting to win this joust. Oh, but that's pretty good. Sure. Since I'm expecting my opponent to be a Yogg Druid, so they don't play a whole lot of minions. So this would still be pretty good. Ooh, that's a decent Raven Idol, though. Am I concerned about this? Mildly. So, we could go for the... oh, we cannot go for the Ragnaros here. That is actually a good top deck, by the way. I just thought I'd mention. And we can even preserve some... yeah, I think I like the tempo of that, sure. I'll just silence for the effect, so this is fine. That is a decent amount of threat on the board, and we still have a very decent follow-up too, so I like where this is going. I like where this is going. I was thinking I could Ragnaros, but I didn't have enough mana, obviously. Would I've taken the risk? There's a question. I think I may have. I think I may have actually taken that risk. So what do we do here? Do we just... No, that can't be right. So, I'm fine with killing the Doomsayer here. I don't think it's ever correct to not kill the Doomsayer here. Alternatively, we could go all face and take a 1 in 3 with Rag. Don't like that situation. That's a 1 in 3 of losing the game, so not exactly a winning play. And we're not guaranteed to win even if we do trade first. So I guess he wins this battle. But we do have a Ragnaros, so that's something. I'll take the less obvious 50-50. The less disastrous 50-50 if it fails, right? He still doesn't have a great way of dealing with the Master Jouster, surprisingly. That's actually quite awesome. Draws a card. Alright. And concedes. Doesn't concede yet. That is a good defense against Ragnaros, so that's pretty good. Getting some extra 1/1s here. Can trade the 5/4 into the 5/5, and that means he's not guaranteed to be dead, so... Yeah, that's actually not unreasonable. And when... Inconceivable indeed. Who said that? Oh, that's the Master Jouster. I have never heard that guy in my life. So, I think it's time for the Bog Creeper, guys. If Rag hits face, we want to amplify the chance of Rag hitting face, right? So, either Rag kills the Violet Teacher or we win the game. I think I like that chance. And winning the game it is. Alright. So I think that'll be it for today, even though one of the games was a little cut short, I guess. We still did have some nice games, and this is a very decent deck, I think, for people to aim at, actually. Because, well, we do have the double Ancients of War, which is a little expensive. Fendrel isn't as good as in this deck as it has been in others, but it's still pretty reasonable. It's a very good inclusion if you have it, but I don't think it's required. And Ragnaros, it's a finisher. It was pretty good in the last game, but definitely replaceable with something equally threatening and huge. So, definitely a deck I would recommend to aspiring Druid players, especially ones that have just joined the game and thus do not have a Cthulhu, which is actually really awkward. So anyways, that will be it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any suggestions on what deck to play for this week, please leave a comment below. We already have Miracle Rogue and Control Shaman coming up. So, yeah, please let me know. And I will see you tomorrow.